person responding to you has something different to respond to, and therefore they respond differently.
In your case, you want to be liked, but not if it means pretending to be something else.
Yeah, and growth is a process.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't just jump to growth. Mm-hmm.
Right, and I like to be genuinely, authentically me. I'm not purposely trying to offend anybody. The mask we wear, how pretending in a relationship breaks trust. Welcome to another episode of Marriage with Jim and Teresa. I'm your host, Jim. Joining me in studio is my wife of the last 40 years, the mother of our 4 children, Teresa the therapist. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Jim.
And back again is youngest daughter, Ellie.
Hello. Oh, hi, Dad.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hey, I got to tell you, though, we're talking about a subject today. I'm interested to hear your take on it. The mask we wear, how pretending breaks trust. I'm totally unfamiliar with that concept.
I'm aware.
I'm totally unfamiliar with that. Let me tell you a story. Hey, Jim, when did you get like that? Let me tell you a story. Let me take you back 44 years ago to the third date with this woman.
Huh.
We both are from rural Mississippi, right? So I got to drive 40 minutes to pick her up, to drive 20 minutes into town to go to the movie or to dinner, then take her back home, then drive 40 minutes. So I say to her, this is about date number 3, Teresa, be there at 6. I noticed on the first 2 dates, when I got there at 6, her mom would open the door. Hey, good to see you, Teresa. Jim's here. Oh, let me go get ready.
No, I don't think it was that. I was getting ready.
Let me tell the story.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I know.
This is exactly what happened. Remember like it was yesterday. So about the third time this happened, because I'm not about pretending,
Right.
and since this was bothering me, I said, T, we need to have a little talk. It was our first family meeting, even though we weren't a family. It was the first family meeting. Hey, Teresa, this is not working for me. What's not working for me? Hey, when I come here and you're not ready, I mean, I'm not mean. I'm not being mean. This bothers me. Being late bothers me. So I said, hey, date number 3, this is not working for me. Is this kind of how this is going to work? Because this could be a deal killer.
Oh, he didn't say all that.
That's exactly what I said.
No, he didn't say it like that. But
How do you remember?
I do.
How do you remember?
Yes, I do remember him bringing up the subject, and I thought, I do hear what you're saying, and I'll take care of it. Not a problem. I can do that. Because you know why?
Well, how do you remember her reaction?
Because I wanted to be with you. I enjoyed that.
But
going out.
See, therein lies the point. I wanted to be with you too, but I ain't going to lie. I ain't going to pretend. I'm not going to smile when it ain't funny. I'm not going to nod my head when I don't agree because I'm not going to pretend.
Okay.
So what we want to talk about today is why do y'all pretend when you're dating people? Okay. I'm not talking about...
Calm yourself,
I was about to say, you going to let us talk about it, Dad?
Yes.
He's very passionate.
I forgot y'all were here. I forgot y'all were here.
Very passionate about this topic.
I'm super passionate about this because I've seen it go wrong so many times. Okay, let me calm down. Okay, you go.
Yes, calm.
Yeah, you finished what you were saying. It seemed like you had one.
That's all I was going to say. Why do you do that? Why do you pretend? Why do you act like it's okay? And here's what really bothers me. While you're dating, you pretend. Then when you get married, you stop pretending. And then you go like, it was bothering me all the time. I just didn't say anything. It's backwards. So I want us today to explore the damage of hiding emotion, needs, or identity in a relationship and how authenticity actually builds intimacy and trust. That's what we're talking about today.
Sounds great.
Okay, that's all I got to say.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's not true,
But yeah, that's a start.
That's a start.
Hey, I gotta be honest. I feel like I'm kind of guilty of this a little bit.
This is sad. My own daughter.
Not anymore. I was guilty. Let me say, again, I've learned a lot.
Let me say this. Now, I'm going to say, yes, I think everybody has a little bit of this.
A little bit of pretension, a little bit of lying, deceit. That's all what it is.
I don't think pretension's the same.
Exactly. No. I think we all pretend in some situations, scenarios. I think we do.
I think for some people, pretending can be a survival mechanism. It can be
a defense.
a cover. She said a cover. a trauma response as well.
Could be.
I didn't actually think of mine as pretending, and maybe you guys will think differently about this, but in my experience, so I came to realize that I am what I like to refer to as, I was, okay? We have spent a lot of time learning and growing and trying to form new habits, but I was someone who would emotionally shapeshift. That's what I would call it. Emotionally shapeshift, meaning that, like, I don't know. It's like I'm so understanding. I can understand almost any perspective, and I can understand where somebody's coming from. And I would confuse that with, like, just because I can understand it, I must be okay with this. Is that the same thing as pretending?
I'm not sure I know what you just said.
No, I'm not sure.
So
It sounds like you're a chameleon. So yeah, that would be pretending.
Yeah.
do you have an example? You have an example?
She just gave one.
I mean, no, a specific example. She's got a point. Dad's got a point. I'm trying to, it's been so long.
Has it? Oh. Can you actually reform?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Of course you can.
Once you become aware.
Okay. So once you become aware, let me think of an example. I would think it's like, okay, speaking of people who I'm not compatible with or stuff going on in their family. Let's take my ex-husband, for example. We had very different family dynamics growing up, right? And there were like some issues that I did have with his sisters, but then it was like, as soon as I understood like why they were the way that they were, it's like, oh, okay, I can understand this. I can deal with this because I understood why they were acting out and things of that nature.
I need to amend my opening statement. I am not talking about, lest I was misunderstood, about not being understanding.
I know that.
About not being kind, about not being compassionate and considerate. That's 3 C words in a row. Kind, compassionate, considerate. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm just saying be who you are. And Teresa tells me I'm overly transparent. When we first started doing a podcast back in 2014, it wasn't video, it was just audio. And we were sitting at a round table just like this one back in Mississippi. And we'd be looking at each other and she would be going like, don't say it, don't say it. Of course, nobody could see us because we weren't on camera. And I was like, hey, that's just making me say it worse. Now I'm going to say it 3 times.
Yeah.
So...
But that wasn't pretending.
No, that wasn't pretending, but I'm associating pretending or not pretending with transparency.
Okay. Authenticity. Yeah, that's the word.
I think where my example's coming from, and the reason I felt like it was relevant here, is because I do think that growing up, I was a bit of a people pleaser. And I didn't think it was a bad thing. I do sometimes enjoy making people happy. Like that's something I enjoy, but I think it becomes people pleasing when you do that at a detriment to yourself.
Yes.
And in a relationship setting. Yeah. For some reason, like when it came to friendships, I'd be quick to cut people. I'd be like, all right, well, I don't think we're compatible as friends, so it's over and done. But I was so much more lenient in like romantic relationships. And I think part of that had to do with, honestly, I think growing up plus size. I think like the narrative at that time was like, if you want to have a relationship or you want somebody to love you, then you have to be in a smaller body. So I felt like, well, that's not me. So I kind of have to... I have to be smarter. I have to be better. I have to be, dressed better. I have to do all these things better because society's told me that because of the body that I'm in, I'm less likely to be in a romantic relationship. And so I think that's where the emotional shape-shifting / people-pleasing / chameleon came from.
Okay.
But I'm not sure I associate any of those things with pretending.
Really?
Well, a peacemaker or a peacekeeper is definitely a person who would...
Is the chameleon one of them?
It is chameleon. It's one.
A chameleon, okay, that's changing, adapting. Well, I guess I'm phrasing in the form of a question. Is that changing, adapting who you really are to fit a particular situation?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
Well, no, I know this.
I think he's asking, is that what I was doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, maybe things weren't as bad as I thought.
I just let me tell you why this is so frustrating to me, because I deal with this every day. So we work with couples. Teresa obviously is a therapist. She works with couples more than I do. I work with a lot of men individually, and this drives me crazy. For a man to be in a conversation with me or be in a session with me, and he go on and on and on about what his wife does, it irritates him. She's sitting right over there. Have you told her this? No, Jim, I haven't. I don't live with you guys.
Yeah.
Why are you telling me all this?